The soundtrack to Damnation, the Gothic Game, was primarily designed to be used in tandem with the game itself, so for the most immersive gameplay experience, we recommend using the ambient version of the album, which has added sound effects and background noise. The soundtrack runs for over 90 minutes. Within this, we've incorporated 50 minutes of underscore, as well as 30 minutes of climactic highlights, all with the aim of contributing to atmosphere, suspense, drama, tension, and creating some, hopefully, unforgettable moments. This is your game, and you're free to use the soundtrack in whatever way you choose. There's nothing wrong with just letting it play while you play. But if you're looking for something a little more cinematic, try our guide on how to make the most of your Damnation, the Gothic Game soundtrack. This overture establishes the scene and chronicles our villain's carriage ride through the mountains and their entering a castle. This can be used during game setup, seating players, and generally setting the mood. After the drawbridge closes, players can use this time to browse the characters on offer. Oh, and don't forget to remind yourselves of the dangers of entering the vault, torture chamber, and the spiral staircase. The villains are now in the castle, and players must choose their characters and starting areas. Use this music to roll dice to see who goes first, pick heirloom cards, choose characters, select starting rooms, and announce any event or curse cards if drawn. This track will meet you with the murmur of winds and the howl of wolves as you cautiously step out of your rooms and begin to navigate the castle. From now on, you're free to let the music play on. You'll have 18 tracks to accompany you while you play until one player is victorious. When a player becomes the winner by slaying their opponent or are the last left standing, select the track Last Alive, and the choirs of the damned will sing to your blood-soaked victory. But wait, there's more. In true cinematic style, we've given you an epilogue, a musical send-off and end credits of sorts. Hymn for the Damned is the closing music to the game and is on the same track as Last Alive, so there's no need to jump to it. It takes us back to the now twilight mountains as a carriage can be heard traversing its way toward the castle. Amid this tragic and haunting track, players can finally relax and discuss how their game went. We like the more melancholic and morose sentiment to this music, but if players would like something more bombastic, feel free to return to the opening track, Carpathian Pass. There are a couple of extra climactic moments that may happen in the game, mainly taking control of the vampire and returning from the dead. We have tracks that can be selected for these moments. When a player has entered the vault and chosen to take control of the vampire, on their following turn they can play this track to strike fear into the hearts of their enemies as choirs chant in Romanian and the player begins their onslaught through the castle. When a player has returned to life after being killed or has been resurrected from the haunt, they can play this track to accompany their return to the living and subsequent vengeance. After playing these tracks, simply return to where you left off in the album and allow it to continue playing. As the fall only triggers once all the death knell cards have been revealed, it doesn't always happen, as there can often be a winner before this. However, if you do happen to reach this part of the game, jump to this track. This piece signals the onset of the castle collapse, and you'll hear the earth shake, masonry begin to crack, and ancient walls tumble and crash. This piece is quite short, but there's more to come. As players continue in their game, so does the castle in its demise. Its walls and towers crumble until there's nothing left but ruin and desolation amid the howl of wind and storm. This track will last around 10 minutes, which should be enough time for one player to emerge victorious. Again, when this happens, jump to the track Last Alive and allow it to play out. We hope you enjoy this soundtrack. It's been a real labour of love for us, and we're really proud of what we created. Please feel free to let us know in the comments what ways you've implemented it and which tracks you jump to when the moment calls. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you and happy gaming.